Southland Tech. I am there, honestly, to get my degree. I saw Mark when he came to my high school playing basketball. He's pretty good in the court, but that wasn't quite the only thing that caught my attention because he is quite a looker. He's a cutie. Tight pair of blue jeans and a hawk top. It's over. She's got him on lock. Whatever girl it is, has gotten his attention. As for Gloria keeps drama. That's just what she is. That's just who she is. Guys love her because she has them like a puppet. She can make them move however she wants them to move. So, surviving with my heart in one piece is a priority for me.
Gloria is my name, being all that is my game. I come from Southland Tech as a student who's seen life. I'm gonna graduate with my degree and from life. I don't back down, and I don't play. Everybody ain't 18 in life. If you can't handle it, don't play with it. Most of these boys are boys. They think they're men, but they don't even know. That's why they're freshmen. Just fresh, not men. Why y'all got her with a Southland Tech shirt? We supposed to be cheerleaders or something? Little Miss Goody Twos, is that what y'all think them guys want? Maybe they do, but Gloria wants them in. Did I say that? Well, I've been brought to life in Freshmen, and I plan to make the most of it. Read Freshman, but my story is the story.
Oh boy, let me go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mick and Rick show is back again. And you have your host, co-host, Mickey Clayton, the coach, and the infamous
Me, Rick Brown, your reporter's favorite reporter, back in stride again. What's happening, coach? What's going on?
Man, you know, it's always something going on.
Always, bro. Always, my brother. Always. Well, start us off, man. Tell me what's really happening.
Well, you know, we do INSiiGHTS magazine as well.
Right.
We do it on the 1st and 15th, and we had coaches, a couple of the coaches, one from representing 5A to 8A, another one representing 1A to 4A. And we did our show about how redistricting has gave people a chance to stop having rivalries. Now, let me explain that a little bit better because I'm trying to word it in a nice way. But it gave some people an opportunity to stop playing other high schools, especially those that were predominantly Black high schools.
Avoiding these schools, perhaps?
Exactly. Exactly. And as one of the coaches said, he said, it's crazy. He said, because they'll play my JV team, but they won't play my varsity team.
Wow.
No. And some of these teams have really been, these rivalries have been going on for a long time. 20 and 25 years. But we had a real good response from one of our people who saw it, and they said it was a good interview. They said, but Corey Fuller is wrong that nobody said nothing. What he should have said is that the people that didn't matter didn't say anything.
Wow.
And this particular former administrator said said he fought tooth and nail and took the argument to the people that should have backed him up. But they did not. And so they allowed a vote to go on, and it absolutely, these are his words, it absolutely creates a disadvantage to the predominantly Black schools They end up spending all of the money traveling. They said it was one of the worst decisions Leon County schools ever made. They said there was a guarantee for games that eliminated travel. But now they have to travel to get games and they can't afford it.
Wow. Now, it's been a while since I've been following the FHSAA, but don't they redistrict schools like every 2 years?
Yeah, and this time they'll redistrict it every year. I mean, they'll redistrict this one again next year for 2 years. But they do, and people have fussed about it, and
Right.
they mainly redistrict football. But the county, Leon County, voted where the schools didn't have to play each other, which it was I don't think it was a good decision. But I'm not here to hammer Leon County school system. We have our own issue, with them and INSiiGHTS broadcasting games. And we still have people that are reaching out to us that are upset about it and want to know what to do about it. And when we broadcast that story, asked by Rick, the reporter that started it, it was done in a way to let people know what was happening, not to really get them riled up, because we have enough high schools that want us. We'll cover some Leon County games when they're not at home and they're somewhere else visiting. We'll still cover them. But I mean, we just wanted people to know why, and especially our middle school crowd, our outstanding middle school crowd of supporters that tweeted us, text us, DM'd us, made comments on YouTube about us not doing the games, and they have been looking forward to it. So again, it's not to throw any shade on Leon County schools. We're just saying what happened and the fact that we weren't wanted.
Okay, blame the reporter just because I got a tip. I'm sorry. I got multiple tips from people who still holler at this free agent reporter and want to know if I know what's in the loop. So I had to bring it up. But that's going to take care of itself. And everyone wants to blame the media. Blame the media. Okay, you can blame me. I can take the heat. I don't care. Just like I don't care about them sorry Cowboys. Mr. Ellis Woods, Mr. Anthony Edmonds, Mr. Adrian Scott, and all of you.
Hold it. We're going to get to your rivalries. Hold it. Let's start.
No,
let's
I just have to get that on my chest.
Yeah. But we're going to have a chance to do that. We also got another comment from somebody else who said that the beauty about INSiiGHTS is that we cover those things that the Democrat doesn't, without competing with the universities in town for space and attention. And the coverage is awesome.
That's cool.
Then we got one more I'm gonna read, and said, folks acting like the only reason HBCUs are on TV is because of Deion Sanders. They said there was a Celebration Bowl, the Florida Classic, and let's not forget the Bayou Classic were all on TV before Deion stepped on the HBCU sideline.
Yeah, that convo last week got some people in the SWAC message board, got them all riled up and was saying stuff like, why can't y'all be happy that this school is getting publicity and you're trying to bring a black man down? What? Wait a minute. The last time I looked, and Coach, you can see me better than I can see me, and I do wear glasses, but the last time I looked, I think I was still black. I may be wearing this right here, but I think there's a little melanin there. So it's not that, folks. See, if you listen to all of the show, you would have heard that what we said was that if they don't win, it's going to come down to wins and losses. This dog and pony show in the beginning is all good and great. And yes, you're getting your publicity now. But if you don't win, they're going to be out the door. So listen to it all, not just bits and pieces and what you heard. Okay, off my soapbox for now.
No, don't be off your soapbox, because we said at the start that it was nothing against Deion. That was the first comment that we made. And because
The SWAC.
commentary, I ended up being on another talk show last week, and I said, because they ask again about HBCUs and what we said, people want to know if you'll back it up and say it again, like I'm gonna bite my tongue. But
Duh.
I told him, I said, the thing about Deion was more FAMU than he was FSU.
Mm,
Deion was always on FAMU campus. His first wife, Carolyn, was a FAMUan, left-handed, could play basketball, was a pretty good athlete. He on the set and racing Javon
more times than me.
Right, he racing Javon Sims in the middle of the set to see who's the fastest. So it was never against Deion. So, again, we speak on it and people get in their feelings, but Jackson State will be able to say whatever they want to say after the Orange Blossom Classic.
Well,
and we will see what they have to say.
That's right. That's right.
So that's all, all we're saying, and they could take it. How they take it?
Hey, one thing, Coach, I got to shout out my girl Diva D in Atlanta. She checked out the show, and the one thing she said was, "Paul Pierce is your hero, Rick." Yes, D. Yes, and you know why? Come on, D. D. Me and you are here. You know me. Okay.
No,
what's up, folks?
Somebody else made a shout out. Michael B. He says, "Man, y'all killing me with Paul. Y'all killing me." He said, "I can't hardly drive my truck straight laughing at you two about Paul Pierce." But he hasn't done anything lately for us to be able to say anything about.
I know. I'm gonna have to give him a call. See if he needs that sidekick to help with the logistics part of it and the PR part of it. I got you, Paul. I got you.
I'm sure that makes him feel better. Now, we had a comment from Netmo.
Okay.
Netmo, our musician, and puts together all our creative, original music that we use in Mac 4 Enterprises comes from Netmo, former drum major with the FAMU Marching 100, the only band in the land. Let me move on. He said here's the three rival games to him. First, he said he agreed with Rick. The Cowboys ain't his favorite team. But he said the three rivalries are Cowboys and the Giants, Giants and the Redskins, Browns and the Steelers.
I agree with Browns and Steelers, definitely. The NFC East is a funny division. I mean, Dallas got all these props, and back in the 70s, got labeled some kind of way America's team, which to this day I still don't understand, because if any team was America's team, it was the Steelers, because I think they won 4 Super Bowls in the 70s. But that, it was them cheerleaders in that movie they did with the cheerleaders, and when they had those skimpy outfits and people were just going rah rah over the cheerleaders, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
I was too.
Well, I was a youngster back then, but that was an interesting movie, I guess. But that's where the moniker really took off, But no, they weren't the team of the 70s. It was the Steelers, if anything. And in the 80s, you could split between San Francisco and Washington. Washington won 2. Yeah, they won 2 in the 80s and went to a third. And in the 90s, you could give Dallas the 90s, the early 90s, but for it to be America's team, and to this day, please, you're killing me. You're killing me. No.
You have to give Jerry credit for being what he is, which is an absolute great salesman. And they tagged the moniker America's Team, and they don't even use it anymore, but everybody remembers that. And the cheerleaders and all the stuff that he did, he was a step ahead of his time in promoting his team.
Okay, I'll give you that, Coach, but this was before Jerry. Jerry didn't come in into the 90s or the late 80s. And I got a matter of fact, okay, Dallas fans, I'll give you this. I'll give you a quick story. I met Tom Landry after he got fired by Jerry Jones. In 1991, they did something in St. Pete, flag football tournament or whatever. And he was a honorary coach. And I went up to him and said, Mr. Landry, when you were coaching, I hated you. And he looked at me. He was like, hate? I said, let me explain. I'm from Washington, D.C. And he said, he started laughing. I get it. I said, no, but the way you were fired, I didn't think that was right. And you deserved better. You deserved to go out on your own terms. And he said, coming from a Washington fan, I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I said, don't get your head blown up because I still don't like you. But the point is, they got this moniker some kind of way, and it's undeserved. Let's talk about real rivalries, okay? Like you're Cleveland. Talk about Cleveland, Pittsburgh. And what about Cleveland and Cincinnati?
Well, Cleveland
Back in the day.
Is one, and the only other one that comes close is Cleveland, Baltimore, where they stole our team in the middle of the night and went to Baltimore, and how bad the Cleveland fans were mad about it. And in terms of somebody wearing a Ravens jersey downtown Cleveland, and they pretty much assaulted him, took the jersey and burned it in the middle of the square. So the Steelers and the Ravens are not popular teams with Cleveland. And they are two sites I have never gone to see my Browns play. I was warned many times not to go to either one because it's going to be a fight regardless. And I was told that because I wanted to go to Oakland and see a game, right? Who want to go to Oakland and see a game?
The black hole.
I was in trouble before I even got there when this Cleveland Browns fan who was on the subway called me over. He said, man, you need to zip up your jacket so they can't see your Browns gear. So he unzipped his jacket and showed me he had a Browns shirt on. So I zipped up my jacket. I knew I was going to be in trouble when I saw this lady with all this hair on her head, and she had like 15 large incense sticks burning. Them big incense sticks that look like two fingers put together. And so I looked at her like, where is she going? And nobody else was paying her any attention, but she was sashaying along. So, during the course of a game, you're in a good spot where you could see stuff happening because you could see the whole field. So I'm like, yeah, that's it. Oh man, we missed him. So this lady kind of taps me on the shoulder and says, we don't do that cheering here for the other team. So I didn't even turn around. I was like, yeah, right, whatever. So 2 or 3 plays later, same thing happened, and she hits me on my shoulder harder. She said, I told you, we don't do that in the stadium. So I turned around, and it was a rather large woman that was sitting across 2 seats. And I said, wow. I said, okay. Then I got a tap on the other shoulder. Her man was there. He was sitting across 3 seats. She said, she told your ass we don't for the other team. Man, I was like a church mouse the rest of the game. I didn't cheer for my team, none, zero, nada. I was like, I'm in Oakland. It's a little special in Oakland. I'm one man by myself. I'm going to have to get my butt out of here by myself. I was done. So I'm saying to say, if Pittsburgh and Baltimore was worse than that on the road, I'm not going to be there.
Understood. Speaking of crazy fans and rivalries, the Eagle fans, Philly, I love you. I mean, but how did you get called the city of brotherly love when you try to beat up every fan that ever comes in there. I mean, you throw batteries at Santa Claus.
Right.
You when Mike Ike for Dallas got hurt, you cheered. Eagles fans, what is up with you? Went there to cover a Tampa Bay Bucks game, and before I got out the car, I put my ID inside my jacket, so it just looked like I had my suit on, and I'm walking to the game. Well, after the game, we go toward the field. Right before the game ends, we go to the field, and the people are, "Hey, those are Tampa Bay reporters! Boo!" And the language coming from it, and I started like looking around to see if someone was going to throw something because they were booing the reporters, and I think they beat the Bucks that game. If they're happy and they beat the Bucks, suppose they would have lost. I mean, there's a reason they call them fans. It's short for fanatic. And Philly, you're right up there. Philly, Dallas, I think is a good rivalry.
Mhm.
You speak of the Raiders. The Raiders of Kansas City, intense. Every time they intense, just the teams don't even have to be good. And when those two teams play, it's just button heads, button heads. But what makes a good rivalry, Coach, in your opinion?
The fans. It is completely the fans. It's like going to games. You only go to, the reason I go to games, you can watch them and you can't get a better seat than in your living room. That's the
Agree.
best seat. But the fans, it's like going to the Final Four. When you go to a Final Four that's in a good location like Atlanta, San Antonio, and all the fans are there and they're interacting back and forth, the fans completely make the rivalry. FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. It's the fans. Hey, fans, tell me what black college teams had the strongest rivalry? Who compares to FAMU and Bethune-Cookman? Y'all let us know. But the fans absolutely make it. You know, they are fired up before the game starts. I mean, and they're just at each other. So when you go, even now, you know, I have not adjusted to the television and to the games. You know, we're glad to see it, but without the fans in there, it's still missing. Even when you had two teams that don't like each other, and the Lakers and the Clippers play, we're just glad to see it, but we don't hear the fans, and we know how the athletes respond to the fans. Even the referees respond to the fans. The referees get on them. We call them momentum officials. They call depending on how the crowd and the momentum is going. You know, it just takes something away, and hopefully we'll be able to get that back.
Okay, so I have a few things that make a good rivalry. I think to be a great rivalry, usually the teams are in the same division. I mean, you have something called like playoff rivalries, like San Francisco in the 80s when they would play Dallas a few times, Deion versus Jerry Rice and all of that. But the rivalry, Washington, Dallas, Cowboys and Indians, fans cheering the week before, we want Dallas, the stadium rocking, literally rocking because of the way the stands were, the seats actually rocked. So I think usually divisional opponents make a good rivalry. Also, I think you have to be good.
Stop. What about the Lakers and the Celtics?
See, that goes with those two teams, which was my next point. If you're good and you play each other a lot, I mean, those two teams played each other in the 60s for titles, and that rivalry really intensified or reignited when Larry and Magic came along in the 80s. And both teams were good, and they met three or four times in the 80s in the finals. And, you know, Boston had all those titles, and now I think they're tied at 16 championships each. So you have to be good as well. And it also helps if you go back and forth.
Well,
I mean, you can't.
When you have remember when you had teams and back to the fans, beat
Mhm.
LA, beat
Oh yeah.
LA, beat
Oh yeah.
LA. I mean, they would
Oh yeah.
just be going nuts. And, sometimes, heck, LA wasn't even being played, but they were the next opponent if they won. So where you're going, like one of the things I think that makes the CIAA so strong is proximity. All of those
Definitely.
schools in the same geographical area.
Yep.
They have some rivalries in the CIAA that is unmatched by anybody because everybody's right there in a 100-mile radius.
Yep. Especially when Norfolk State and Hampton were in there, we're still in the CIAA. It was great, and they go down to the scope for the tournament, and being a baby of that area, it's lovely. And my whole family went to CIAA schools, except me. So it's funny. It's real funny. So yeah. So one thing we can agree on: everyone hates Dallas, and they're not America's team. Did I say that? Everyone hates Dallas. Did you hear me? Everyone hates Dallas. Okay.
Well, let me say this. I went to AT&T to see the Browns play. We stomped them Cowboys. Stomped them Cowboys. But Jerry's place, oh my God, is this special?
I still haven't been to Jerry's place.
Woo! And as much as I follow my Cleveland Browns, I have never seen a Walmart located in the parking lot at AT&T Stadium with all the apparel that they had in there for the Cowboys. I have never seen that. The whole front of the store was full of Cowboys apparel for anything. And then for those who like to drink, they had a social distancing protocols for the tent with all the alcohol. And they had that thing where nobody was sitting close to nobody. And they had one end of it was open and the wind was blowing through to the other end. And the top was open and the air conditioned. And the Browns blew the Cowboys right on out of there. But it was great, but it still was missing the fans. It was still missing the fans. And we have something that we are going to talk about because we're running out of time. But Jamal Murphy from the Undefeated at theundefeated.com wrote a story about the Black coaches on the rise among NCAA basketball teams. And I think and we were talking about Coach Blair Lewis from Vanessa Blair Lewis from Bethune-Cookman and her leaving and being able to get a good position. But this thing is pretty good. It's 8 of the 17 Division I hires, 47% in women's basketball have been Black. 7 have been Black women, including 2 of the 5 Power 5 conferences. In the men's game, 25 of the 49 Division I head coaching hires have been Black, 51%, including 7 of the 13 in the Power 5 plus the Big East. So that in itself is monumental.
Progress.
And we applaud those individuals, some of whom broke a record and broke the standard by leaving HBCUs and getting an opportunity to go to the next level. We wish them much success, and we want each one of them to win wherever they go.
Agreed. And pull and continue to pull, reach back, and help another, and that's the way we'll continue to achieve.
And one of the things, having been a former Division I head basketball coach, so many coaching hires happen at the Final Four. It's where all the basketball coaches go and interviews are held and everything, and people get a chance to sell and promote themselves and get that opportunity. So I'm with you there, Rick. And Rick, I appreciate you. We're going to work next week to try to do Mick and Rick live in living color. That means whatever you say, Rick, you got to be careful with.
Me? Wait a minute. You're the loaded gun. You're the loaded gun. We got to watch you. See, remember, I still got the reporter. I can zip up like my reporter days and just let you do all the work. I'll just report on it.
Oh,
FCC, you're not coming after me. No,
not coming after you, huh?
No.
You know, I have to remember sometimes I'm not coaching. You know, coaches ever tend to have a little salty language sometimes.
Yeah, a little salty.
Little salty.
Yeah, I've heard it before.
I sure you have. But get some of that jank barbecue sauce. Get you some of that jank, put it on your meat, have a great time. This is Mickey Clayton, the coach. I'm signing off.
And me, your reporter, Rick Brown. Thanks for joining us. Tune in next week. Another great show. Again, thanks for joining us. And Coach?
Leave us your comments, and we're out.
We're out. Yo.
With the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.